Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have the Golden Bachelor recap, hometowns, baby. Here we have our final three women. That's right. Gerry. He's finding love on a faster budget, as this is sort of a test show. He doesn't have the full season arc, so he doesn't get four people to see their hometowns, and he makes good use of his time. As we know, Gerry is. You got to give credit to the producers here. They did, or the casting department, I should say. They did a fantastic job. They found an amazing cast in Gerry and the ladies here, and that's going to be very hard for him to break hearts. But that's the name of the game. So, as I do, we take notes, read them back to you. No edits, no jump cuts, just me, you, and Gerry here. Hometowns. We meet Teresa's kids, Teresa's grandsons, and this is what makes the show what it is, heartwarming. The show is like warm apple cider, right? That's all it is. It's wholesome. Seeing Gerry relive his moment meeting Teresa was a lot of fun here. He's sharing the fact how she came in, the nude slip. He's like, I couldn't even look down. I don't know the chivalry cues of this new generation, right? He's like, back in my day, we take a little peek. We take a peek. They want us to take a peek. Hello, how are you? Nude slip. We look down. But in today's world, he's like, I don't want to be canceled. Poor grandparents. Can you imagine? They fought in all these wars. They walked uphill to school both ways, and now all of a sudden they can't take a peek when someone shows off the goods. The grandkids teach Gerry how to take a selfie. He calls it doing selfies. Very precious. And then there it is, folks, the old smooch. Teresa's daughter asks Gerry a question. She's like, "What do you like, Gerry? What do you like about my mom?" And he says, "The way she looks at me." And it's like, folks, that's it. Find somebody who enjoys looking at you. Everyone's trying to break down all of these personality traits. What's your chart? Are you a Sagittarius? I'm a Virgo rising. All these types. It's just like, find someone who can tolerate your presence. That's all. Because you do get sick of each other. Oh, there's nothing worse than, two beautiful people that can't stand each other by date 3. You know what I mean? Find somebody who enjoys that. Maybe you got a sharp toenail. Maybe you got that fungus that won't go away. Life happens. Find someone who's okay with it. That's my new autobiography by Dave Neal. Life happens. Find somebody who's okay with it. How will their post-show lives work? That's a question. Gerry says if it's right, they will figure it out. I mean, look, yeah, they're on borrowed time. At that age, you're retired. Get a camper like the rest of the retired people and just drive around. Shuffleboard in Florida. Is that offensive? I don't know. I like shuffleboard. All right, figure it out. He says he doesn't know what it feels like to fall in love again. Okay, so this is where it gets a little interesting. Some of the people asked him about love. He says, I don't know what it feels like to fall in love again. The last time he felt that depth of new love was 1968. That's when we believed the earth was round. Come on, you know what I mean? We've really progressed in society to the moon was the moon landing. That's when we believed we landed on the moon. And, that's when we had democracy and things like that. Anyway, who did I just piss off? I don't even know what side I'm making fun of. Teresa's sisters give their stamp of approval. They say she is on cloud 9. So that's it for Teresa. And now we go to Faith in Flagstaff, a horse ride with a pretty lady. She's like, are you going to be okay doing a horse ride with a pretty lady? He says, how could you not feel good? Gerry has a way with words. He says, I'm not going to want to be without you. He's like a country musician, He said, a horse ride with a pretty lady. How could you not feel good? I'm not going to want to be without you in the hood. I don't know. I just made that up. Okay. Gerry tells the family about her motorcycle arrival. I'm sure the family's like, oh, Grandma, you didn't ride the motorcycle again. You're going to hurt your hip. This episode brought to you by Bayer. I mean, look, hey, I'm not making fun of them. My neck hurts, and all I've done today is recap. I have a coffee and a stiff neck. That's what travel will do to you. Going to Nashville tonight, folks. We're going to Nashville. If you've been following our journey, we're going to be looking at homes in Nashville. Who knows? Maybe we'll buy a home in Nashville. I actually have, I'm doing a driving with Dave with a doctor who wrote a book. Very excited to share more on that with you. This Saturday's Driving with Dave actually features Caitlin Bristow, so stay in touch with that. Did you catch Clayton Echard's Driving with Dave? He won one of his court cases last night, an injunction against harassment, which means the lady that claims to be having his twins is no longer allowed to message him or she will get arrested. Boy, life comes at you fast. He's just not that into you, lady. You know what I mean? How can you tell if a guy's into you? Well, if he gets an injunction against harassment, probably not. Oh, he's playing hard to get. Very Pepe Le Pew. All right, so anyway, Gerry tells the kids that she got the first impression rose. They all cheer. The kids know how important that is. Faith and Gerry both say, I love you to each other. How about that moment? There it is. They both say, I love you to each other. And I couldn't tell it looked like they did that with everyone else there, but maybe they were alone. It was hard to tell because they cut into such a close shot. They smooch. He says he couldn't not say the words. She leaves and says, I'm going to count the minutes until I see you again. Golden Bachelor is so much more poetic. If this was like The Bachelor or Bachelorette or Bachelor in Paradise, it would be like, they would just ruin it. You know what I mean? But instead, they're just, I'm going to count the minutes until you see you again. If it was The Bachelor, you'd be like, duh, I'm going to text you a dick pic. But this is love, folks. Gary's going to draw her a dick pic. He's like, I'm going to sketch you. I'm going to draw you like those French girls. Titanic reference. I didn't say the W word. Leslie's turn for love. Leslie in Minneapolis, which I've since learned is not pronounced Minneapolis. Put too many N's in there. It's a hard... Hey, look, you want me to pronounce your city? Spell it better. Minneapolis? What is this? All right, don't come for me. The Minnesotans are going to be upset. All you Vikings up there. What are you going to do? Take me ice fishing? Please, would someone take me ice fishing? Anyway, okay, they have fantastic connections. Leslie's brother is a little protective, right? Where's Leslie's brother? There he is right there. Doesn't he look like he stars in a Law and Order show? Law and Order. Leslie's brother. Da-dum, da-da-da-dum-dum. All right, the kids are excited. Love to see the daughter with the sleeve tattoo. Where's she at? Let's get her on Bachelor in Paradise. Hold on, we lost her. We got to go find her. She's there somewhere. Oh, boy. You know what I'm talking about? There's a daughter with a sleeve tattoo. Oh, no, that was the earlier one. So there's actually multiple people with sleeve tattoos. But really, I mean, come on, let's get some more sleeve tattoos. Can we do an episode of Bachelor in Paradise that is mandatory? You have to have arm tattoos? I don't know. There's something, and again, this is a non-gender thing. There's something sexy about both men and women who have arm tattoos. It's like you are already pretty. Now you put some art on your arm, and it's just like a walking museum. I like it, folks. All right, that has nothing to do with the story, but you understand the point. There was another person with a tattoo. I don't know where they're. All right, so anyway, if you're out there, ladies, nice tattoos. Leslie's brother's a little protective. The kids are excited. Love to see the daughter with the sleeve tattoo. Okay. Brother Stuart gives his blessing, says it'll be good to have another mensch in the family. Gerry says, I love you to Leslie. Oh, boy, Gerry, you done did it. You done said you loved multiple women. Leslie gets a rose. Hold on, let's go to that. Do we have that image there? So Leslie gets a rose, then Gerry breaks down and walks off set. He has this moment where he's like, oh boy, this is not going to go well. And it's like, we get it, Gerry. This is how the show works. But seriously, do they have a medic on set? I mean, no, this is a traumatic thing for anybody, let alone somebody whose heart has already loved for 70 plus years. He says he feels like he's going to throw up. And then they do bloopers, which is Gerry dodging the hard questions of the grandkids. All right. I mean, where do we go from there? You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think with the Golden Bachelor. Are you enjoying the season or what? They end on a cliffhanger. Who's he going to choose? I mean, look, to be quite honest, I don't know how it goes, but my guess is that he said, I love you to the two ladies on the left, right? Faith and Leslie. Do I have that right? And I feel like he's going to keep the women he said I love you to. And then the other lady, he said, well, I don't know what love is. Since I haven't said it since the 60s, you know. That I feel like is not the right answer you want. Either way, folks, look, we made it to the end of a long week. Whenever I'm traveling, it's so much harder to make these episodes because I got all my gear and everything. So I want to thank everyone. Plus, I want to thank everybody who's joined the Patreon. We have received I think 100% or maybe 50, whatever it is. A lot of new people showed up. So patreon.com/Dave Neal. Thank you for that. Thank you to everyone who's continued to pour their ears into Bachelor Rush Hour, the afternoon podcast. We're going to have some original content. We got a lot to cover today, a lot to get into. So catch that all on the afternoon's Bachelor Rush Hour. And we'll be back with a Paradise recap right after this.